My name is Clara Painter. I am a 52-year-old widow. This is and was my husband David, who went home to be with the Lord February the 12th of this year. David and I had been together for going on 29 years. He was my best friend, my confidant, my everything. David became very ill January of this year, and we were sent home with hospice and were told that we had at least another year or two. We came home January the 5th, and David died February the 12th. I worked in law enforcement for 10 years. And while I was working in law enforcement as a 911 operator and dispatcher for the county of Gastonia, I was working my way through school to become a licensed professional counselor for the state of North Carolina. I did succeed in doing that. However, when I went to a mental health agency, a private agency, I lost my insurance benefits, of which I had $80,000 on David. I was assured that we would get life insurance, which the owner did contact an agent. However, it was an independent agent, and they turned us down. So for 4 years, I had been seeking and searching for life insurance. After David died, I then contacted Social Security to apply for my survivor benefits and was informed that because I'm not 60, I'm not entitled to draw. I was also informed I would get a one-time $255, and that if I made over $25,000 this year, I would be taxed on the $255 one-time payment. I was also informed that until I became the age of 60, I was not entitled to any benefits. However, if I were 60, even if I had divorced my husband, which I did not, and was 60, I could draw his benefits. So the fact that I'm still married to my husband, just because he's gone doesn't mean I'm still not his wife. I cannot draw. So on taking that step of faith, taking the job that I took, I now face over $14,000 in funeral bills. And because I took a year off of school, of which I was still trying to improve myself by getting my PhD, I took a year off school, and Liberty University is now penalizing me. Say I owe them over $1,000. And because I didn't go to school, David and I only brought in $46,000 last year. His medications were very, very high, as any of you know that have terminally ill spouses or anybody in your family that's terminally ill, and rent, car payments, car insurance, and your regular monthly payments. That's nothing. So because I took a year off and did not have any education credits to file, the IRS says I owe them $1,400 back. So on top of losing my husband, worrying to death about how I'm going to live from month to month, I'm looking to move from my home because it's $750 a month, of which David's $800 a month took care of. I want to bring about this story. I want to call out politicians. I want to call out Barack Obama and say, how would you handle this if this was some of your family? Do you not think that Social Security needs to be amended, since it hasn't been since 1972? Also, how would you feel, Mr. Trump, Hillary Clinton, Ben Carson, Governor Huckabee, Governor Christie, everybody that's running for president? What are you going to do to make a change in Social Security? Here I sit every day, a hardworking citizen, a voter, trying to make ends meet. And I can't even pay to get my husband a marker on his grave. A man who worked his whole life until he became ill and couldn't work anymore. I can't even grieve because I'm so overcome with worry, with debt. And I'm licensed by the state. And now, because of what has happened, I am a widow who's having to endure economic poverty. I deserve better. My husband deserves better. All widows and widowers deserve better. I've reached out to Channel 3, WBTV, Channel 9, WSOC-TV, trying to get people to hear me. I reached out to Republican Patrick McHenry of Gaston County, North Carolina, and was given to his deputy whip, who then told me to talk to Lindsay Shackelford in Washington, who then called me back just to tell me that basically they didn't have time for me because there was nothing on the books for Social Security amendment or change. I'm crying out for all the widows and widowers in this world. Men, women, black, white, Hispanic, Indian, whatever race, ethnicity, it's reaching all of us. I've been told in my hospice therapy that my therapist is seeing more and more and more of this. Women and men alike losing their homes because we're not 60, because our husbands or wives have died. This is America. This is where we're supposed to be able to count on our Social Security that my husband worked and paid in his whole life, that now I've been told is being drawn by those who are already drawing Social Security. Where is it going to be when I reach 60? Is there going to be any left? I've worked my entire life since I was 12 years old. You guys do something. Do something about it. Somebody listen to me. I'm starting a grassroots campaign called WEEP, WEEP, Widows Enduring Economic Poverty. If any of you politicians dare, reach out to me. If any of you news stations dare, reach out to me. Listen to me, because I'm going to be heard. Because God says He will take care of the widows and orphans. There's a reason that's in the Bible. I'm trying very hard to hold on to my faith. I need time to grieve. But yes, we only get 3 days to grieve. Who made that up? Who made up that rule? Who made up the rule that because my husband's been gone since February, I should be moving on? I can't move on because I'm having to worry about how to pay his funeral bill and how to get him the marker he deserves on his grave. I've set up a GoFundMe account called A Widow's Cry for Help. If any of you politicians dare to help me or want to help, please help. I'll tell you what funeral home to contact. McLean's on South New Hope Road in Gastonia, North Carolina. Or Gaston Memorial Park, where I'm trying to pay for our cemetery plot. Anybody want to help? Does anybody care? Does anybody care about widows like me or widowers that are weeping? God, help this nation, help this country. We're given to everything except those who truly, truly need help.